Calling it the most talented Hall of Fame class ever. Randy Moss, Brian Urlacher, Terrell Owens, and Ray Lewis. Just four of them. They're saying it's the greatest Hall of Fame class ever. Of course, T.O. is not going to show up. Never forget this about movies. A good, solid movie can be ruined by a bad ending. And, by the way, a good, solid movie can be called excellent with a great ending. Usual Suspects. It's a good movie. Great ending. People now say, great movie. Not really. Great ending. T.O. and Randy Moss had a ton in common. They really did. They both played about 218 games. They both played for 5 teams. Their receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, teams, games, almost identical. They both came with some baggage. They were both from the rural South. They both went to smaller colleges than you think their talent would land them in. But Randy Moss this weekend and today, you watched them last night, feels so much bigger than T.O. Because the lasting image of Randy Moss will be this weekend in Canton, Ohio. Humbled, emotional, perhaps crying, thanking people. And T.O. will look small and petty and immature somewhere in Chattanooga. I'm sure it will be a charming festivity, but pouting and petty. America forgives often, but to be forgiving, you have to be willing to have some humility. Randy Moss has all sorts of baggage. T.O. has all sorts of baggage. They were both remarkable talents, same part of the country, same stats mostly across the board. But Randy Moss this weekend is joining another team. Will cry as he does and will let us celebrate with him. T.O. will be holding out. Yep. A good movie can be ruined by a bad ending. And as Randy Moss steps to the podium and speaks this weekend and his son speaks for him, he will look bigger than ever and will forget the times he drove us absolutely crazy. And we'll think about T.O. and his pettiness, and he will never look smaller when compared to Randy Moss. By the way, Randy Moss and T.O., it's supposed to be both of them there this weekend in Canton. T.O. won't be petty. Randy will be. We'll celebrate. He'll be humble and grateful. It'll be amazing. You've got a Randy Moss story, which I think is funny.
It's not funny to me.
Okay, I've always thought Randy was better than T.O., not only this weekend by showing up. I always thought he was better. But if you go look at their numbers, there's touchdowns, receiving yards, teams, baggage. There's a lot of similarities. Give me your Randy Moss story. How great was he?
So I learned a very hard lesson. He had gotten Oakland moved on from the Patriots.
Oakland moved on.
Didn't really have much production in Oakland. Didn't play during the preseason
at all.
And so you're thinking, I mean, how big a threat is this guy really at this point?
And you were opening with you were the Jets coach.
Yes, we were opening with him. So we had a little bit of defense catered towards him, but not really. Not what you would normally do for a guy of his stature based on the performance that he had, the no performance in the preseason and the limited performance in Oakland. And he comes out and hangs 180 yards on us, and it was unbearable to watch. And it was one of those lessons that if you're dealing with a Hall of Famer, even if they've had some downtime, you better have a package in place just in case that pops back up. And we were not prepared, and he was catching balls in double coverage. He was between a corner and a safety. There's a backside safety. He goes up high points, it takes it away. Just.
By the way, it is again. We show the numbers. Randy and T.O. are very close. I think Randy's better, and I think I think Randy's more coachable. I always thought T.O. was a handful. I think Randy's actually, from what I've understood, Randy was actually very willing to be coached.
Friends of mine in New England said he was great to work with, incredibly smart, understood not just what he had to do offensively, but how defenses were going to play, and he was fantastic that way. Now, T.O. was a pretty special guy, too. I remember the Super Bowl that we played against him when he was with Philly.
And he was hurt.
No, they said there was no chance that he could play. Not only does he play, but we did account for T.O. We had double coverage on T.O., and he still caught a ton of balls.
Yes.
And was hard to deal with.
He had a great Super Bowl.
It was one of the most impressive performances that I can remember from an athlete, especially based off of what he had to do to play in that game.
So you were told in that Super Bowl, when you beat Philadelphia, you were told he wouldn't play.
He was not going to play. There is no chance with this injury that this guy would play. But we factored that he may be able to somehow figure it out. But during the course of the week, you're thinking, there's no way this guy's going to play.
He didn't play in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, and then you're thinking, okay, even if he does play, how effective could he possibly be with this injury? And he was outstanding.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.